Okay. Hare Krishna. Let us start the class. मम ज्ञानतिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितमेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोविष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकथामयति स्वप्नान्तिका वन्देऽहं गुरो श्रीयदुत्कमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथं तं तां सजीवं साधितं साधुतं परिजीवसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सह श्री विशाखाब्दं शहे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभां सुदेवे प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च वृन्दानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. Welcome to this Bhagavad Gita class. So in today's class, we will be focusing on the next part of the second part of the Karma Kanda or the Nishkam Karma, which is from text number 38 to 46. So here, so till now, we have seen Krishna has explained Arjuna, the knowledge of soul, body, relationship with soul and body, and so on. And then the first application of this is, yeah, after Krishna explains this, Krishna tells Arjuna that he has to fight because death is inevitable and soul is indestructible. So he has to fight. But then the first application of this knowledge that we are not body is application uh, of karma kanda for fulfilling our desires, material desires, and thereby elevating ourselves. So it is within the dharmic principle how we fulfill our desires. So this is the basis of karma kanda. So this portion 31 to 37 majorly focuses on Arjuna should fight because it is his prescribed duty, and following the prescribed duty is the best remedy for this current situation. So now today we will see the second application of Atmanya, which is Nishkam Karma Yoga. So let's go to the shloka. So there are this today we will be seeing text number 38 to 46, where majorly the equanimity in duality, what we need to do, how we can be equally poised when we are in a dilemma situation that is very explained. So let us go to the shloka. I'll just go to the change the slide here. Sukha dukhe same kritva labha labho jaya jaya tato yuddhaya yujjasva naivam papam avapyasi. That is, do the fight for sake of fighting without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat, and by so doing, you shall never incur sin. So, this means that there is duality, which is sukha dukkha, that is happiness and distress, then labha, profit and loss, then jaya ajaya, that is victory and defeat. So these are all dualities. So in so we should not fight with the victory or defeat in mind. So the Krishna's main point here is that sinful reactions. He wants to address the point which the question which was or the apprehension which was raised by Arjuna about sinful reactions, that by killing his own relatives will he not incur sinful reaction. Actually, he won't get sinful reaction only when he follows the rules and doesn't follows his prescriptions but without attachment. So in shloka number 1.36, Arjuna is asking Papam eva shreya asma atvaita atatahina. So he's telling that sin will overcome us if he slays such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for him. So he claims that it is not proper for him to kill the sons of the Drashta and his and other friends. So he thinks there is no gain by killing their own kinsmen. But Krishna here tells that following your duty and not getting attached to the outcome, which is success or failure or gain or loss, victory or defeat. So this is not important. He has to justify. So not getting attached to the fruit of result is the first sign that we are in devotional service. So we are Arjuna has to fight without attachment. If he is fighting just because it is duty and not for not for any fruits, then it is something to something like devotional sense, and it will help him in overcoming the sinful reactions. So we may think that Krishna is contradicting himself between the previous verse and this verse. Whereas in the previous verse, if you see, he is telling that he has to do his duty, and here he is telling that he has not to get attached to the result. In the previous verse, he says that if Arjuna wins the wins the war, he wins the kingdom. If he loses, he will go to heaven. This profit loss calculation is now Krishna is now saying something quite opposite to it. There is no profit loss calculation. So there is a win-win situation only when Arjuna is doing his activity with no attachment to the fruits. So, so this is just like U-turn or complete shift in what Krishna has told earlier. So this is nothing but it is not a U-turn or complete shift, but it is moving up in the yoga ladder. So Krishna is now moving Arjuna to higher level of yoga in the yoga ladder. So previous section was purely karma kanda. In this verse, he is majorly focusing on karma yoga. This is acting in detachment. So if you see here, Prabhupada is quoting shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam. देवऋषिर्भूताप्त नृणां पितॄणां न किंकरो नायं ऋणीचराचर सर्वात्मनो यः शरणं शरण्यं ततो मुकुंद परिहृत्य कृतम्. Anyone who has completely surrendered unto Krishna, Mukunda, giving up all duties, he is no longer a debtor, nor he is obliged to anyone, not to gods, not to sages, not to anyone. So that is indirect hint given by Krishna to Arjuna that the matter will be more clearly explained. Okay, so this is what is clearly explained to Arjuna here. So that means what if we do with Krishna in mind, we are not indebted to anyone. So in the first chapter also, Prabhupada is quoting Shankaro Narakaya Kulagnana Kulasasa Patanti Pitro Yesha Lupta Pindodakya. Here also he quotes the similar verse. So an increase in unwanted population. The point is that increase in unwanted population is caused uh, if we somebody is not able to do the duty, and so the ancestors of such family will also fall down. But one who is attached to Krishna and devotional service is not indebted to perform any offering of food to the or any way related with Devarishi, Bhutapta, Nrinam, Pitranam. You need not have to worry about any one of them. That is people in general, not to kinsmen, not to humanity, not to forefathers. So here once again Prabhupada is mentioning the same verse because the previous verse was also on devotional service, but Arjuna was telling, quoting that he has heard from previously that if we are not following our Kula Dharma, then we will all lead to our family as well as his family and his relatives will be dragged to hell. But it is not that. It is not following the Swadharma and getting attached to the results will be the reason for this follow. That is what Prabhupada is trying to summarize here. Now we go to the sloka number 2.39. एषेते अविहिते शङ्के बुद्धिर्योगे त्वमिमांशु बुद्धाः युक्त यया पार्थ कर्म बंधन प्रशसि. Thus far, I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Now, listen as I explain it in terms of working without fruity results. O son of Buddha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from bondage of earth. So, this is a transitional verse. In this verse, there are several terms like Shankya, Buddhi, then Yoga, Yukta. So these are some terms which are very used in a single verse. So it's a transitional verse. So what does Krishna say? Krishna is telling that till now he has talked about Shankya, but we will see that nowhere there is a mention of Shankya in Bhagavad Gita till now. But when you see the traditional commentators, they call second chapter as Shankya Yoga. Shankya basically means analysis, counting, by which we count. So the literal meaning is by which we count. So between Bhagavad Gita 2.11 to 2.30, it is complete analysis. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that there is now a change in thought. This is like so. This Sankhya is like counting the elements of existence. We understand these elements to understand the soul. So, what are the elements? There are 26 elements, which is elaborated in the remaining chapters, in the rest of the chapters, or specifically on nature, enjoy, and consciousness. I think chapter 13. So, there it is elaborated a lot. But here, majorly, we saw body and soul. These were the two things which were analyzed. And from Bhagavad Gita 2.31 to 3.38, 2.38, it is majorly the karma kanda. But now Krishna is combining these two through Buddhi Yoga. This is combining the knowledge of soul and body, which is Shakya Yoga, and the Karma Yoga. So, and this is he is doing by Buddhi Yoga. So, if you see the Prabhupada's purport for this sloka talks about various things. But one important point which Prabhupada is clarifying is Shankya. Shankya is also one of the important systems of philosophy. So these philosophies were founded by Kapila, and there are two Kapilas. One is atheistic Kapila and one is theistic Kapila, who is talked about in Canto 3 of Srimad Bhagavatam. The theistic Kapila is talked about in Canto 3 of Srimad Bhagavatam. The atheistic Kapila's teachings are more widely known, but they are not in harmony with Vedic conclusion. So, Baldev Vidyabhushan in his Govinda Bhasha commentary explained that great sages, though they may be very learned, they come under the influence of illusory energy of the Lord, and hence they speak the philosophies which are not according to conclusion of Vedas. So, if something is not according to Vedas, according to the conclusions of Vedas, they are atheistic and they are full of illusion. That is why the Sankhya Yoga of atheistic Kapila is discounted by Acharyas. Thus, the Sankhya, the one from Kapila Muni, is devotional teaching. That is why it is included in Srimad Bhagavatam. And this concludes the Shakya Yoga of Kapila Muni as enumerated in Srimad Bhagavatam, concludes in devotional service. So this means that we need to understand various aspects of the material world, and once we understand them and take this understanding takes us close to reality. So, so it takes us close to reality means we understand that we are not this body, we are soul. So this is taking us closer to reality. So Shankya is like analysis, and Buddhi Yoga is internalized wisdom. So when we say intelligence, it is seeing Buddha. So when we see in say intelligence, it means that we are seeing thing in proper perspective. There is one more place in Bhagavad Gita, sloka number 10.10, where Krishna says, Tesham Srata Yuktana Pachatam Priti Puroka Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Enamam Apayatite. So the people who are constantly devoted to serving Krishna, they get the understanding by which they can go to Krishna. So this Buddhi Yoga is the intelligence given by Krishna to go to him. So this is the ultimate understanding. So the Buddhi Yoga is obtained by serving the law, and it is the internalized intelligence. So Krishna has not till now referred himself to be God, but thus the complete flow of Bhagavad Gita, complete flow chapter two, this is in the beginning stage. So Buddhi Yoga does not mean that it is intelligence given by Krishna to come to him, but the intelligence applied to go to God. So, intelligence by which one can get connected to the deeper reality of the life. So, as we move to the next chapter, we will understand that this intelligence comes from Krishna, and Buddhi Yoga in complete sense is Bhakti Yoga. So this is what we need to understand. So Buddhi Yoga is currently considered as intelligence, but as we go towards 10th chapter, we will understand that it is Bhakti Yoga. So in Bhagavad Gita, there is inner dynamics. That means the words do not have a frozen meaning. The meanings change based on the context. So in the current context, the knowledge that was given till now to Arjuna is that we are not this body, but spiritual. This Arjuna needs to apply to come out of his problem. This means Arjuna has to fight without being afraid of death, of his death, and also death of his loved ones. He should worry about his post-mortem destination. It could be heaven, but higher than heaven is liberation. Thus, Krishna is now taking the discussion to a higher level. The next pertinent lesson to be taught to him is that he works without detachment, without attachment to the fruits, or works with detachment. So he has to know that he is spiritual and then practice yoga to work without attachment. This yoga is to realize and relish the spiritual reality. So, so uh, in the Swaraj we may get majorly in Swarga. If you go, we will get majorly the material enjoyment, which is at a higher level and it lasts longer. But it is still material nature. There is no spirituality in it. So Krishna will now tell Arjuna how to use this Atmanyana. Atmanyana means knowledge of body and soul to release the spirituality. So he says karma bandhana prayashasi. That means he will be able to come out of or get liberated from the karma bondage. So there is much difference between work in Krishna consciousness and work for fruitive results, especially in the matter of sense gratification for achieving results in terms of family or material happiness. Buddhi Yoga is therefore transcendental quality of the work that we perform. So this is very, very important for us. In the matter of sense gratification. Yeah, okay. So I'll go to the next shloka. This is a very, very important shloka. नेह विक्रमणाशास्ति प्रत्यवायोद्यते स्वल्प प्रियस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भया. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from most dangerous type of fear. Abhikrama in endeavor nasha asti pratyavaya diminution. Mahata, great danger, Bhaya. So when Krishna is talking about Buddhi Yoga, he starts by glorifying it. So previous sloka, he has given a U-turn, not U-turn, he has introduced to a new topic which is Buddhi Yoga. Now he is trying to glorify it. What are the specialities of this way of working? Whatever one attained by this working, it will be internal. Internal means going to the soul and hence eternal. In this practice of Buddhi Yoga, there is no loss and no diminution. So, this is because it is related with the soul. So, by even a small practice of this, one can be freed from large and major sinful reactions. Sinful reaction is not given here, but what is given here is bhaya. Actually, there is a shloka in Ramayana. It says, "Ek ek aksharam pumsam mahapatakanashi." Every word you read in from the scriptures is mahapatakanashi. But here it is used told as bhaya. So sinful reaction is not given here, but fear is given. When we commit sins, then we incur sinful reactions, and we are afraid of these reactions. So it is given. What is given here is the end result of doing committing a sin. So Krishna is not telling Arjuna that attainment of Swarga is temporary. This he actually tells in 9.21, where he says that Tetum Bhuktva Swargalokam Vishalam Shine Punye Martya Lokam Vishanti Evam Traidharma Prapanna Gatagatam Kama Kama Labante. Then, so what does it mean? So, they once we go to the heavenly planets, we will enjoy there, and after some time, our pious deeds are all done. We need to come back to this earthly planet because this earthly planet is the karma bhumi. And in 9.22, Krishna says, Ananyas chintayantoma e jana parayupasate tesha nityabhiyuktana yoga kshema mahamya. So this means that those who worship Krishna with full devotion, always meditating on his transcendental form, he will carry what they lack and he will preserve what they have. So we need not have to really worry. So in these two verses of the chapter 9, there is mention of Krishna's personal presence. In verse 2.40, that is this one, Neha Vikramana Shasti, this is not the case. It is told that whoever is in the spiritual path, there is no loss or diminution for him. This no loss and no diminution is because there is hidden hand of Krishna, which is told in Ananyas Chintayantama, Ye Jana Paripasate, Tesham Nitya Vyuktana, Yoga Kshema Mahamya. Thus, practice of devotional service is not only does not only preserve what we have, but it will protect us from the greatest danger. So Prabhupada actually quotes the case of Ajamila, who at the time of his death chants the holy name of Narayana. So when we practice devotional life, whatever we gain is eternal because we are constantly striving for eternal. This means our attraction for Krishna will stay forever, lifetime after lifetime. This is not true with respect to the material gains or material life, where there is constant deterioration and degradation. That is why when Ajamila was chanting Narayana, He internalized the pronunciation so well that it protected him from the greatest danger. This was be so when we understand Krishna consciousness is eternal and gains are eternal, and and then uh, and then we need to then we strive our best, give our best to attain this eternal. So if we this is possible only when we develop a relationship with eternal, and this will put us in the spiritual path. So how we do this? We generally do this by following the four regulatory principles, chanting the holy names, attending Mangalarti. These are some important activities which puts us in spiritual activities which are eternal. So Prabhupada in the purport quotes one important shloka, Taikta Sadharmam Charanambujam Mare Bhajan Bhakko Atapate Tato Yadi Yatra Ko Abhadra Buddha Mushyakin Ko Varta Apto Bhajatam Swadharmata. So this topic is actually part of Dhyana Yoga. So if someone gives up his occupational duties and works in Krishna consciousness and then falls on account of not completing his work, what loss is there on his part? And what can one gain if one performs material activities perfectly? Or as Christian says, what profit the man if he gain the whole world and yet suffer the loss of his eternal soul? So it is more important to understand that Krishna is the savior who protects us and preserves our capability. So that is why it is Neha Bikram, even a small endeavor in this is very, very crucial. And we are that by doing this, we get it related with Krishna eternally. That is the point. Okay, going to the sloka number 21. व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि एके गुरुनंदन बहुशाखाई अनंतश्च बुद्धाय व्यवसायिनाम. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose and their aim is one. O beloved child of Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. So this is very important shloka which helps us to remain focused in our activity. The activities a person performs or devotee performs should be one pointer and should be very specific in one place. Those who are not fixed in one place, their intelligence is in all directions. So when we are not in one direction, we are in unlimited directions. So Krishna is giving the comparison to Arjuna that one point resoluteness is very important. Thus, he is indirectly recommending this resoluteness is the resoluteness right now of Arjuna is dilapidated or multi-branched. So he needs to remain focused on his goal, which is to fulfill the promise that he has given to his brothers and to protect the honor of Draupadi, which is who are all Vaishnavas. So same way, we also need to remain focused on our goals. The more we let loose our focus, we will not succeed in our goals. So when when the desires crowd our mind, then there are too many dilemmas. And so dilemmas cloud our intelligence. So mind and intelligence are interrelated here because our mind is full of, is crowded with dilemmas, intelligence cannot take any decisions. So this results in poor decision making. So whatever best we can do in 24 hours, we should remain focused on it. And we should take only that. If it is not possible for us to do something, then we should accept it. We should not take too many things and crowd our mind and fail in our commitment. So if the activities are overwhelming, then it is very important that we streamline things and bring focus, priorities, and clarity. This will help us and also the team in which we are contributing to. So the Krishna conscious practice, it is very important that we have clarity, priority, diligence, and focus. This is possible only when we have a one-pointed determination. So this will help us preserve in Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada in the purport majorly focuses on the point that we should remain in one pointed focus. So how can we get this focus? You can ask, is this a fanaticism or fanatism that we are talking about one pointed focus? No, it is not fanatism, but it is fanatic one pointed focus. Fanatic is something which is I am right, everybody else is wrong. But when we say fanatically focused, one thing, there is only one thing which is substantial in our life. If you take a sports person, athlete, mountain climbers, trekkers, businessmen, they are fanatically focused on their goals. They practice their work or their activity on regular basis to achieve the goal. That means the athlete uh, he focuses, he builds stamina, builds his speed. He remains focused. He practices the again and again to improve his stamina, improve his body power, and so on. Same a football player, tennis ball player, basketball player. They practice again and again so that they can handle the ball properly. They spend hours practice. This is possible only when a person is fanatically focused. This they become specialists in their area of work, and without this specialization and hard work, they cannot give best in class performance. So there is one activity they will be completely, totally absorbed. They will be totally consumed by that. This is fanatically focused. That means we see that in our material life, we need to have focus and long term vision to achieve something very significant in life. We see that sports person, they have a clear focus of what they want to do next 1 week, next 4 weeks, next 5 months, next 6 months, and next 1 year. So they have a clear goal how they win a cup or how they win a trophy. This also applies to spiritual life. We need to be fanatically focused that this is what I am going to do. To grow in Krishna consciousness, we need to have tremendous focus. There are many things that can be done for Srila Prabhupada's vision. He wants the entire world to be delivered and he wants us to be instruments in mission. The focused devotee is one who has that sense of purpose and that sense of urgency. So something has to be done, and this needs to be done urgently or now. So this is fanatically focused. So devotee of Krishna is identified by the sense of purpose and sense of urgency. So Krishna reveals this through the spiritual master. In life of spiritual, Srila Prabhupada, we see that he took up the words of the spiritual master is for His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada of spreading Krishna consciousness throughout the world and Krishna spreading Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message in English language and in the Western world. These are the purposes. Srila Prabhupada made these instructions of his spiritual master his life and soul. Srila Prabhupada, when he read the purport of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, and where there was a mention that a disciple should make the words of the spiritual master life and soul to make significant or swift progress in the spiritual life. We see that Srila Prabhupada's movement is such a success, and we may not be, we may not be fortunate enough to get instruction from spiritual master. In such case, we recognize that spiritual master's instruction need not be specific and particular to make it our mission of life. The general standing instruction which Krishna has given through Srila Prabhupada is we all become devotees, we all love Krishna, help each other as much as possible in loving Krishna. So these are general, and this we should make as the main stream of our life. That is the main stream of life. Okay, so how do we how we do this specifically will vary based on time, place, and circumstances. We may or may not know at this stage how we will serve Krishna. However, we should keep exploring our interest. We will find that there are areas where you will become comfortable serving Krishna and also externally competent in doing service. Some people are very good in talking. So that good in talking should be used for donation, collection, or for preaching mission, or meeting people who will become good devotees, and so on. So so we need to see where we are comfortable and at the same time externally competent in doing service. If I am not good in cooking, then I should not waste my time on doing that service. I should pick something else. So okay, so this can be easily explained in terms of varna and ashrama. What are ashrama? So ashrama is the spiritual duty. It helps us in doing the spiritual duty. And our varna is mostly the material duty. In Kali Yuga, determining our varna may be very difficult. This is because there is so much of mixing of dynastities or generation. So we understand ourselves and then discuss with the senior devotees what type of service we know best suits us. So this is very, very important for us. Then we apply this principle. Our goal is to become Krishna consciousness, which is one pointed, focused goal. Then with the guidance of devotees, we find the best way of serving Krishna. As long as we are in this world, we use our talents in fulfilling and completing the service, achieving this goal. This we do with the mindset that we have here is glorification of Krishna, purification of ourselves, and add benefit to the world. This is the way we can apply aka Kurunanda. If we get spiritual master's personal instruction, it is very, very good. Otherwise, we learn by studying the mind and connecting with Krishna internally. This way, we can become AKA Gurunanda. So, so these are some insights from this verse. Then another one important thing is Vyavasayana. Of Vyavasayana. Of those who are not in Krishna consciousness. Vyavasaya. This also means business. Vyavasayatmika. Buddhi means business-like intelligence. So there is Vyavasaya here also. Vyavasaya here also. So Vyavasaya means in literal Hindi language, Hindi or Sanskrit, it means business mind or man who evaluates everything in terms of money. Everything is seen in the form of money, gifts, personal possessions, personal position. So everything is connected with money. So we see the priorities of life based on our perspective. If a person is money minded, his perspective of life will be always money centric. So everything is in money centric view only. So Krishna here emphasizes just like business-minded person or money-minded person sees everything in money point of view or business point of view. A spiritualist should see the spiritual point of see everything from the spiritual point of view. So and do not mix it with anything else. So how can I bring this specific discussion to Krishna consciousness? This will be the view of a spiritualist. So why is Krishna bringing the point of one-pointedness? Krishna actually is now trying to bring contrast between what he discussed in 2.37. So if you see 2.37, अत्वो भक्ष्यसे स्वर्गं जीत्वा वा भोक्ष्यसे means तस्मात् उत्तिष्ठ कौन्तेय युद्धाय कृतनिश्चय. So this is pure karma kanda. But now we are moving to karma yoga level. Thus, he is trying to explain the difference between karma yoga and karma kanda. So in karma kanda, you can have multiple desires. But in karma yoga, Krishna is our only desire. Service to Krishna is our only desire. Let us go to the next shloka. 2.42 and 43. So, yamimam pushpitam vacha pravadanti api paschitah vedavada partha nanya अस्तित्ववादिनः कामात्मनस्वर्गपर जन्म-कर्म-फलप्रदां क्रिया-विशेष-बहुलं भोगैश्वर्यं गतिं प्रति. So, men of poor fund of knowledge are very much attached to flowery words of Vedas, which recommend various fruitful activities for elevation to heavenly planet, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. Nanya Dastiti Bhagavana. Krishna is telling, O Arjuna, that you might have heard from Vedas that life in heaven is much better. So you should focus on how to go there. Krishna is telling that these are all flowery words. The people with lower level of description or poor fund of knowledge will get attracted to this. These are people who think that the main reason to teach Vedas is to fulfill our material desires. They confirm that Vedas do not teach anything beyond this. So, if you see Kamatmana, some person whose Atma is full of desires, Svargapara, he wants heavenly planets. So, so aiming to achieve as heavenly planets, resulting in good birth and other fruitive actions. So he does Kriya Vishesha Baulam. He does activities which are very pompous. He does ceremonies which are very pompous. For what? Bhoga Aishwarya. For enjoyment, material enjoyment, and material opulence. So they desire a heavenly planet. These people they desire a heavenly planet because birth and activities in heavenly planet is much better. And for that they do lot of ceremonies according to karma kanda. So their focus is opulence and enjoyment. So this is the indulgence mentality. So Krishna is using the word kamatmana. So they cannot think anything other than lust and material enjoyment. So that is their essential being. So essential being is sense enjoyment. And hence they target Swarga where the possibility of and facility for material sense enjoyment is much, much higher. So it is interesting that Krishna is telling that what is in Vedas is avipaschita. Avipaschita means it is not intelligent, which is with full of fun. So one practice of something given in Vedas is for poor funded, the people who have low intelligence or low discrimination. This is because the actual conclusion of Vedas is not understood by the people. It is not that Vedas are Vedas are not to be used. But in Vedas, we need to understand that there are multiple levels of moksha. So Karma Kanda is at one level. Higher than Karma Kanda is Jnana Kanda. Higher than that is Upasana Kanda, which culminates in Bhakti. So Karma Kanda is in the negative axis of the negative axis. And when we practice Karma Kanda, it gradually elevates us to zero of the axis, zero of the plane, zero plane, which is Jnana Kanda. And then upward movements from there results in spirituality. So so in this progression, Vedas are dealing a lot with Dharma, Artha, Kama. Upanishad starts the beginning of spiritual life. The primary subject matter of Vedas is Karma Kanda. Upanishad starts the bhakti and transcendence. The material benefits in earth and better material benefits in higher planets are all temporary. This is understood only in bhakti and transcendent literature of Vedas. So, just like some fruits and flowers may appear very attractive, but they may be dangerous and poisonous, we need to understand it through intelligence, not through eyes. So, what is talked about Swarga is attractive, but it is toxic to the soul. Why is it toxic to the soul? Because it alienates us from the spiritual or the original nature of the soul. The unfortunate thing in this world is that our is that our forgetfulness of our relationship with Krishna. So this is avipastita, and because of this forgetfulness, we engage in activities which are not so fruitful or helps us in going towards Krishna. Thus, Krishna says that we need to give up this attachment. So next shloka is very interesting shloka, but I will stop here. If we have any questions, let us ask. Let us get into a question answer mode. Any questions from anyone, please ask.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Well, one question regarding the residents of the higher planetary systems, Svargaloka, as you were mentioning. So, if my impression is correct, then all of these residents are called demigods, isn't it? Is this correct, Prabhuji?
I missed your. Can you repeat?
So what I'm asking is that as I have the impression that the residents of the higher planetary systems, namely Svargaloka, that they are designated as demigods. And then Srila Prabhupada, a number of times in his purports, he mentions that all the demigods are considered devotees. But what is then actually the degrading element of these higher planetary systems if the qualification required to enter them is elevated personality?
Okay. So it is. They are sakama bhakta. They are bhaktas with lot of material desires, but they follow the dharmic principles to attain that. So that is, and when they follow the dharmic rules, they get elevated positions in the material management or material world's management. So those they became the employees or direct agents of Supreme Personality of God. And to get into that position, they have to do a lot of sacrifices and so on. And this mindset can come only when they are pious souls. So they are pious souls. They are no, they are afraid of Supreme Personality of Godhead, but at the same time they want to enjoy. So that enjoyment mentality, enjoying independent of Krishna, is there in their mind. But since they are following the Vedas, they are devotees. But now, pure devotees are the one whose main desire is service to Krishna and engage in bhakti. So They have what is called as unconditional love. They don't want anything in return. They are satisfied by satisfaction of Krishna. So that is why Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Ekehe Kurunandana. Only one desire, which is Krishna's. Why? Because Ananyas Chintayantuma Ejana Parivasate Tesham Nityam Yutana Yogakshemam. He is going to preserve what we have and provide what we lack. And that also devotees will use for fulfillment of Krishna. So whether there is pain or pleasure in Krishna consciousness, it is always pleasure. So there is something called as devotion in separation, devotion in union. So both are there. If Krishna goes away from us, we are still happy because we remember Krishna and we become happy. So, but we see this in Indra trying to attack the Vrindavanasis because they don't fulfill. He knows that they are all devotees, Vaishnavas, pure devotees, but still he is driven by false ego. So, so they are devotees with material desires. So,
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you. Well, one more thing that I was wondering about listening to the class is that if you could please elaborate on the point a little bit of this earthly planet being the karma bhumi, because I would make a guess that the demigods with their activities, if their activities are not Krishna conscious, then they also accumulate karma for themselves, isn't it?
yeah. So, yet is karma bhumi because uh, when we are in earth, we do yagna, and yagna is given by Varaha Murti, and Varaha raises earth from the lowest regions of the world, of the universe. He rips earth and he gives instructions to earth how to do yagna and so on. Because this earth is the karma bhumi. Everybody does sacrifices in the earth. And only in this earth we will be able we will be able to fulfill our desire of raising to the higher level of to go to the higher planets. And if we don't follow the karma, then we go down. So when we leave Earth and go to the higher planetary systems, we spend our karma. So it is like we are normally citizens of Earth. We are citizens of Earth. When we have enough karma, we get visa to travel to higher planets. And when we get visa to higher planets, after the visa expires, we need to come back to the material planet. If I look at a higher definition of this, we are in a jail in material world. Sometimes we get parole, we go to the higher planetary systems. When the parole period comes down, we go back again to the jail. But to go out of the jail, we need to show improvement in our character. So we come to this jail, we show improvement because there are people who give lessons to us to improve our consciousness. And when we do that, we go out of this jail where we understand that the place where we go on parole also is a jail. And we break all this and go to the spiritual world and stay there. We don't have to come because that is our home. That is our home. That is why Prabhupada tells that go back home, back to God. So we need to go back home, back to God. We are in this material world in the form of a jail. Yeah. So if we go to higher planets, we spend and we come back here. So we do karma kanda procedures, we get more money, more pious credit, we go back again to the heavenly plans. We spend there, we come down. So this is what is explained in chapter number 8, where we go on cycles of heavenly plan. By mistake, if we happen to by some mistake we do not do the sacrifices properly, then we get into the hellish planets. So we see the example of King Driga, who did not do proper donation to the Brahmanas. Hence, he had to be born as a lizard. Now, he was born as a lizard. But because he was very pious, he was devotee, Krishna personally comes and delivers him. So, it is very, very difficult to handle yagna. So, the easiest yagna in this Kali Yuga is Harinam Sangeeta. कलेर्दोष विदेराज अस्ति एको महान गुणः कीर्तनादेव कृष्णस्य मुक्त संग परम विजय. So we can get delivered mukta sangam, we can get delivered from this material world very easily by chanting the holy name of Krishna. So this is what we should follow. We should not get into any of these things, because there is no pure ghee, there is no pure brahmana, there are fire that we get is all polluted. The wood we get for yagna is polluted. Therefore, it is necessary that we do only Harinam Sankirtan and go back home, back to God, which directly links us to the devotional world or the Vaikuntha or Goloka.
Very good. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
I think I was a bit slow in today's class. I am running short of three more shlokas actually. Anyway, I will try to cover this up in the next sessions. Next two sessions are all going to be very, very interesting because we will be getting into devotional aspect of devotional aspect will come now into this soon. And then Arjuna is going to ask an interesting question on Sthita Pragna. It will be very, very nice. There is one turning point shloka in this about which Arjuna will ask in the beginning of chapter 3. So it's going to be interesting journey. I am very eager to come to that point. Let's see. Any other questions? I actually wanted to prepare some questions. To me, I felt that question and answers are there, but we need proper understanding of the subject and how we apply it. So, when you are coming for this class, you should ask some application questions. So, that is very, very interesting. Say, for example, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. So, what is one pointed focus for a sadhaka? So for sadhaka, we need to follow instructions. We need to follow schedule. This is what is sadhaka's like. The schedule should be very well fixed, written down somewhere. And then the service should be fixed. That also should be written down somewhere so that there is no confusion. And he just follows that. So this helps us to remain focused so that we don't get spaced out, timed out on our activities. So this brings focus. So our focus is to just follow written instructions or sometimes instructions from the senior. Some instructions are already available, like following four regulatory principles, chanting 16 rounds, attend Mangalarti, get up early in the morning, eat prasadam, have good association, read, spend time in reading Prabhupada's books. These are some standard instructions which we always follow. So beyond this, there will be some other instructions which we should write down and follow it meticulously. This brings discipline and much more focus in our life. So this is one interesting thing. Other important thing is that there will be lot of failures. There will be no, sometimes there will be success. So the failures in life helps us to show our consistency. I am trying my best to keep up the sadhana. There are failures, but we should show in times of failures, we should show consistency. And when we are successful, we should show our humility, humbleness. So we see this in life of Srila Prabhupada. For 40 years, Srila Prabhupada struggled to build this international movement, but he was constantly trying again and again and again. So in terms of so in times of failures, he showed consistency. But when he was success, when he built so many temples all over the world, people thought he's God. Probably he could have claimed that he's God, but he did not do that. So he was beyond ego. He was humble. He was sure about what he has to follow. He has to follow the words of his spiritual master. So we could see that in success and failure, we are not attached to the results. We just keep trying our work and follow the instructions of our spiritual master. This is something very important. I don't know if we can really frame some questions here, because to me these are all application topics. Yeah, so these are some nice insights from these slogans. Okay, if there are no questions, then we will stop here. Machakalpatarvesha kripa sindhu vayevicha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo नमः। ग्रंथराज भगवद गीता की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंद हरि 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 बोल हरि हरे कृष्णा।
Dandavat Pranamati. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Thank you, Prabhu.
थैंक यू माता जी। हरे कृष्णा।
Prabhu, next week, which are the lessons you are covering, Prabhu?
माता जी, next week I will be covering shloka number 44 to 50, maybe 44 to 50.
44. Okay, Prabhu.
Okay, माता जी। हरे
Okay, Prabhu.
कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
थैंक यू माता जी। हरे कृष्णा।